The Cold War began in 1947 and dragged on into 1991. For this time period, there was two main powers battling out for a geopolitical war. These powers were the United States and the Soviet Union. Although these two countries fought together in World War II against the Axis powers, tensions eventually began to deteriorate the alliance they both held. These tensions were due to America's distaste towards communism and Joseph Stalin's grudge that had formed after millions of Russian lives were lost in World War II due to America's hesitation to enter the war. Although atomic warfare and technological advancements were a huge dispute in the Cold War, the main focus was whether or not communism would spread, as the power-hungry Joseph Stalin aimed to spread communism all over the world. America started to pursue its attempt in containment as World War II came to a halt and Stalin began his own endeavors in converting other countries to communism. The era that my project takes place in is the Red Scare, in which America faced the perplexing hunt of communists who were believed to be infiltrating the U.S.'s democratic society. As more and more countries began getting infected with communism, such as China, Korea, Africa, Vietnam, and Latin America, U.S. politicians like Dwight D. Eisenhower became wary of the domino effect, which was the idea that if one region turned to communism, nearby regions would do the same. This led to the Red Scare because politicians felt that if communists were able to fly under the radar and slowly infiltrate things like media or government, they could easily begin to form groups and take over America from the inside out. Because of this risk, the House of Un-American Activities was formed to ensure that there was recourse if someone was to be suspected or accused of being a communist, and therefore would be closely investigated and even questioned in front of Congress. A huge movement of false allegations and targeting was the era of McCarthyism, when Senator McCarthy had thousands of federal employees fired, which ruined their careers in the hope of having a normal life as the Red Scare hysteria hurtled on. For my project, I baked a cake shaped like an American flag, and of course the frosting represents the stars and stripes represented on our flag. Under the frosting, there is cupcakes of all the same size and shape. What makes some of these cupcakes different is that a few are red velvet, symbolizing the few communists that were sprinkled throughout America during the Red Scare. The flag lies over every cupcake, and without doing some investigating, you may think all of the cupcakes are the same underneath. Also, each cupcake has a thinner layer of white frosting over the top, which would make them still appear the same had someone not eaten past it and hit the red velvet. This shows that although there were communists in people's communities and neighborhoods, they could easily blend in so long as they kept to themselves and hoped people did not take an interest in questioning their political agenda. Since there was usually no noticeable physical appearance of a communist, as it was simply an ideology, they were easily able to blend into America, which is what worried the U.S. politicians so much in the time of spies and the quick spread of communism.